beans, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, rams, hogs, dogs, chicken, turkeys, rabbits, you name it. Look! I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, rams, hogs, dogs, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys, rabbits, you name it. Beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, rams, hogs, dogs, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, rams, hogs, dogs, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys, rabbits, you name it. Beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, beans, greens, beans, greens, beans, 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 greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys. You name it. You name it. You name it. You name it. Beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, rams, hogs, dogs, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys, rabbits, you name it. Beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, rams, hogs, dogs, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, rams, hogs, dogs, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys, rabbits, you name it. Beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, beans, greens, beans, greens, beans, 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 greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken, turkeys. You name it. You name it. You name it. You name it.
I'm obese, shoot me in the belly.
Look at all the space I'm creating, everybody!
Bad monkey, bad monkey. Oh, you got you baited so hard. I don't think I can handle any more of this bot gameplay.
Spylo.
Yeah, this is gonna be a real boring stream, y'all. I got absolutely nothing interesting or fun to say. This is gonna be short, probably only about an hour and 40 minutes. I had a cancellation today, and then we're gonna do one normal review. We're gonna do one replay review, man. Then we're just gonna call it. So I'm really busy, yeah, we're just gonna stick with that. So, yeah. So I guess we'll just go and get started. We're not gonna mess around at all, and yeah. Good to see everybody. Lockie, hello, Cager. All right, let's double check to make sure that Muck Duck is ready. I think we're going to be looking at some Tracer. Yeah, let's get started. We're not wasting any time. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
How are you doing?
Doing pretty well. How are you doing so far?
Doing all right, doing all right. You are the most famous person in all of the Western Seaboard, and the Eastern Seaboard, I guess. Just North America in general, I guess now, because you are the only VOD review, in-depth VOD review we're doing today. Period.
Damn.
Yeah. So
there's a lot of pressure going on here. All right.
There's a lot of pressure. If this isn't the greatest VOD review of all time, I'm going to be really disappointed. This is Midtown, and this is Tracer, yes?
There's a little bit of Tracer in there. It's mostly Ashe Sojourn.
Mostly Ashe Sojourn. Okay, so we're already starting to see the dynamics. Wait,
hold on.
I'm holding.
No, that was a totally wrong code. It's Cree Ashe. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'm so sorry.
Okay. No.
I bought it out there.
Completely unforgivable. Okay, so you said the wrong here. That's it. It's too late. We're canceling the session. Okay, let me get this pulled up. And what rank are you at the moment?
I am Plat 3.
Plat 3. Plat, hit scan. Okay, give me a second to update. So what got you interested in coaching?
Honestly, just for parts of like self-improvement that my brain really can't process because I've like understood some parts of like my own my own improvement, like looking at my reviews, looking at my replays, doing little things here and there to further improve my um play style or like
Mm,
how I play.
mm.
And I th- I don't think I'm at the point where I'm like I can't do any better because I'm plat. So
Right.
there's like a lot more that I can look into to make sure that I can improve. But I feel like I'm missing something.
Mm.
Like I feel like there's a solution staring right at me,
Yes.
but just I can't see it because either I'm looking too hard or I don't know, maybe I'm just like missing the whole point of it.
Right. Right.
So
Right. Okay.
like the it's
Okay.
just it's much easier. I mean, it's much easier to get someone who will assist me instead of like just staring at the screen for like 12 hours on end when someone can point it out to me in 2 seconds
Mm.
without even you could glance you could glance at my gameplay and be like, what the hell is happening
Two
here?
seconds. Okay, you put the expectations really low. I guess normally it's about half a second. Okay, let's play Overwatch since season 5 with 5-man Mercy Rest. You've been around a while. A GM on console, and I've watched more educational videos in Overwatch than I would have liked to. Needless to say, I have a gigantic ego with your Overwatch knowledge and experience, and it carries over to my gameplay. This is also fueled by my weak mental as I can go from being task-oriented to being ego-oriented quickly without knowing how to switch back. Okay, so break me down your Overwatch playing history, starting back with Season 5 with 5-man Mercy Rest, please.
So starting out back then, I was playing on console. This was my first ever competitive FPS game. Like I've
Mm,
never played anything beyond like the single player Borderlands,
right.
um Battlefront, like even Battlefront. I just dicked around. I was like I didn't care.
Yep,
Even
yep,
Call of
yep.
Duty was like very casual. So this
Right.
is like my first time playing into that in like this kind of a scene.
Mm-hmm.
What I first started out was I was playing mostly Mercy, and then I got kind of into like the scene because I started watching Envious through Apex, and then like that whole scene before Overwatch League.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, this seems really cool and fun. So I got into that TLDR. That's a whole story, but
Yeah.
TLDR. I got into like a small ass team, and I played tank. I got annoyed with the DPS on my team, and then I thought that was more fun, so I stuck with DPS around season 8.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, I was just playing console the entire time, climbing up to masters, to be honest. But I don't really like to think about that too much because, like, to be honest, that was like on a completely different scenario and playing field. Like, it's nice to like boost my own ego sometimes, but like, oh yeah, I hit masters on console, and at the end of the day, it's console, so it doesn't really
I
matter
mean, it's
compared to like
something. It's something, but yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
like like in the bigger picture. Like, granted, like yeah, I'm proud. Like I hit GM on console. Like even if it's just like on console, it's a very big accomplishment. But
Yes.
just at the same time, I'm also trying to keep it real because
Yeah.
if I'm like, yeah, I hit GM, I'm so swag, then I'll think I'm too good.
Mm,
So it's
mm,
like also
mm.
it's like a weird battle between my own ego and trying to keep my ego up so I can play well.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
and I moved honestly I moved from PC to console after what was it, like 4 years? I played console for 4 years and then I played a year on PC.
So this
I
was
moved
when was this? 2021, 2020.
2021
Okay.
and I
Why did
moved
you make the transition?
I've always wanted to play on PC, but I've always stalled it out. Like I stalled out for a pretty long while. When even though I had the resources to make the switch, I just never wanted to, or I
Why?
never. It, um, honestly, it was fear. Like I thought I was like comfortable in my. Sorry about that.
You're good.
I was comfortable in my bubble of like, yeah, I'm this master DPS player on console, but so if I go to PC, I didn't believe in myself to make that peak again. And eventually, I was like just digging around, doing whatever I wanted. on console, just not really taking it seriously. And then I realized I'm like, I'm playing this game all the time, but I'm not really trying. So I might as well make the switch so I can start the cycle all over again. I was already doing that like smurfing and stuff, so it's like if I'm gonna do that for fun, I might as well do it and do it on a more advanced platform. Instead of just using the sticks, I can use my whole arm, and there's more games like I don't know. I've always wanted to make the switch to PC, but like I never had the opportunity when I was a child, and then it was just fear that held me back that I wouldn't be as good on PC.
Mm-hmm. What's
And
kind of
then
funny is like where that fear is fueled by. It's
it's
fueled by ego, is what it is.
mm,
Usually,
mhm,
where you're like, I'm important and powerful in console. I'm a big fish in a small pond, respectfully. Or I guess I wouldn't say a small pond, but a really shallow pond. A big pond,
yeah.
but a really shallow pond. Like it's not hard to be a big fish. And so then you're like, oh, I don't want to lose that feeling of greatness, but like what's more important, your feeling of greatness or the actual progress and enjoyment of improving, you know?
That kind of hit me like once I decided to like play in like the other leagues of console, like on CGL. I played in that, and like it hit like reality hit me when I was like, oh, I'm not as good as I thought I was.
Mm-hmm.
There's people 10 times better than me,
Yep.
and they're doing the exact same thing as me, but better.
Right.
So so eventually I didn't take like those little hints, and I just got like beyond steamrolled, and I was like, all right, you know what? I've made my peak here. I can make better. I was like, I know I can make better strides on PC. Let's just do it. Even if I get stuck in Plat for 12 seasons, eventually I'll make it up.
Mm-hmm.
So that like that reality check like jump started me,
Mm-hmm.
which was ironically kind of funny.
So your PC transition, how has that gone since then? Going through 2021 to 2022 into Overwatch 2.
Um, actually hasn't gone too bad because occasionally on console with my friends,
Mm-hmm.
like on PS4, I have a PS4. You can connect your mouse and keyboard to the PS4, and you can play Minecraft with that mouse and keyboard.
Right. And
So
definitely not Zimming.
no, not zimming, not at all. No, sir. No, I thought about it at one point, but the laziness got the better of me, and I said I'm not doing that.
Good for
It's
you, I guess.
that I I didn't want. Also, I heard like I have friends who Zim and stuff like that, and I've
Mm-hmm.
heard from them like it's just basic. It's just like it's kind of like a handicap, honestly.
Yeah.
Unless you're like in the higher echelons of like 4,500, like you're like
Mm-hmm.
4,600.
Okay. Interesting.
I've heard like because it's basically it's aim assist with the keyboard,
Right.
with the mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
So it's guiding your aim instead of letting you actually use your aim.
Ah, got it. Makes sense.
So it's kind of like
It's like
the
developing
bug
a
with
skill set within itself, right? It doesn't good aim. You have to be a good zimmer to zim properly, basically.
yeah. I
Okay.
don't know if you remember the bug in the beginning of the Overwatch 2 where the controller aim assist worked with the aim. That's basically what that was doing
Interesting.
on God. That's basically what Zim does on console.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Sorry for interrupting. Go ahead. So you
No,
PC transitioned through PC in 2021, 22. Didn't go so bad. Continue.
yeah, it didn't go so bad. I don't know how to describe it. It went better than I expected, but I think in like the long grand scheme of things, looking back at it, I aimed too high and I aimed too fast. So like I was constantly pushing myself to make this big stride because I was like, all right, I have big shoes to fill from what I did on this on console. I need to make it quick. So I was pushing myself too fast to
Why
where I
do you
was
need
trying
to
to.
make it quick? I
Hmm?
guess it's kind of
I'm
the
sorry.
question. Why did you need to make it quick? Why did you feel the need to make it quick?
Because this was around the time when Overwatch 2 was announced, and
Uh-huh. Uh,
it was like, oh, before Overwatch 2 hits, I want to have that shiny logo on my career profile, so I
mm,
have something to brag about.
mm.
So I was pushing myself to get that to get that get that little ego boost,
Huh.
which
Noticing a
it's
pattern here. Continue.
yeah yeah no you that's a big pattern with me, but like I just pushed myself and what I was doing was actually hurting my gameplay as well because
Mm.
what I would do is I would push myself to play like, okay, what I'll do is I'll play Tracer and Kree. And then I see someone doing well on Widow, and I'm like, I think I could out Widow them and go straight to Widow. And then I see someone doing good in the Soldier, I'm like, I think I could out Soldier them. And then I switch to him, and then goes on and on and on. And then I'm like, oh, I love playing Junkrat because that was like the first DPS I played.
Yep.
And then I'm like, oh, Pharah's fun too. And then I throw in like all these 12 heroes that on console I was able to 100% flex. Like it wasn't that hard. But this is like a
Mm-hmm.
different playing field because I don't have that muscle memory yet.
Yep.
So in the end, I was hurting my own self because I was trying to play hit scan, but then I wanted to play the fun, funky projectiles and
Right.
the flexes. And then I also was trying to go, oh, I'm a flex god too. I could play tank, I could play support, and in the end, it just jumbled out my whole mind.
Yeah.
So, and then again, it's just all because of like this like crazy ego that I have,
Yeah.
which I'm like slow. Like it's really hard to like. It's like really hard to break this like cycle, but I've like right now I feel like I'm like on that path to like getting over it. Like starting to get over it at least because it's never gonna go away, but at least what I can do is learn to live with it and not let it take advantage or take control of my actions.
Can I ask a question?
Mm,
Has this kind of a transition towards trying to move away from the ego been because you've recognized its actively negative influences on the things that you want to do?
yes.
Okay, interesting. So even within the ego improvement, it's been mostly selfishly motivated.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Where do you think that this has come from? I mean, I don't want to be like all psychoanalyst on you and call it the Freud manual, but like, is this been a problem in other sports or school or activities or social life or whatever? Because
No, surprisingly, no. This is like I don't know why. It's like uniquely to like video games in general. It's especially with Overwatch. With other video games, like I play Siege occasionally. I play like all these other games. With all these other games, it doesn't matter. I'm just like, eh. If I'm shit, I'm shit. But I'm
mm-hmm,
gonna have fun doing it. If
mm-hmm,
I'm bad, I'm bad. I'm just gonna have fun doing it.
mm-hmm.
But with Overwatch, I don't know what it is. I just have this like insane hunger and drive to like be the absolute best that I want to be,
Yep.
and it like increases my ego. I don't know why. It's just with Overwatch. I played soccer.
Were you
With
good at soccer? Like really good? Were you?
no, no, no. I was not. I was beyond bad. But
Mm-hmm.
I had an insane hunger to just play. Like it was absolutely insane hunger. I would play like on the weekends with like the older guys. I would play like outside with my friends. I wanted to play in a league, but I had like insane
Mm-hmm.
scheduling problems, and like I couldn't really afford that to be honest. So
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that. But I played with people who did, who were like 10 times better than me. But I never backed down from like challenging them, from like learning from them. I had this insane hunger to learn and like get better with that. And just with Overwatch, it's like I'm better, I'm good, and I don't know. Like my brain just pops. I really don't know. It's just with Overwatch that my ego is fueled, and I
Okay.
do not know why.
Question
It
for
is
you. What else are you good at in life outside of Overwatch? Like school, work related, sport related, game related. I know you talked about other games that are not as intense with, but like, is there anything else in life that you're really, really, really talented or skilled at?
um I'm rusty on the guitar, but I was pretty good at that. I know quite a lot about animals.
Mm-hmm.
The job right now I'm working at, I'm new to it, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm like learning rapidly, and I'm pretty good to where I can work by myself pretty easily.
Nice, nice. Well done. Well done.
Um, I'm actually a pretty good driver. I'm proud of the way I drive.
Good. Good. Good.
Like
Good. Good. Good.
I didn't think I would be that good at driving, but it's like literally second nature. When
Good.
I was like when I was a kid, I was like, "Oh, I wonder if I'm gonna be bad to like take a sip, drink
Yeah.
something while I'm driving."
Uh.
And then like yesterday, I was drinking and drinking my like my
I
Mountain
was
Dew and
gonna say, be
driving.
careful what you say
Yeah,
there.
no,
You were
I'm
what?
not drinking and driving. I'm not getting myself caught.
Intoxicated
Uh,
with H2O. Keep going.
yeah, yes. Only the H2O. I'm really good with. I'm honestly really good with pets, like dogs. I don't know why.
Nice,
For
nice,
some
nice,
reason, I just have like this. Dogs
nice.
just love me.
Okay, this is a
Um,
personal question. How old are you?
I'm 23 years old.
Okay, all right, all right, all right. And what are your plans for life? Do you have any plans? I mean, you're too young to like really have any concrete plans. Maybe I'm just the type of guy that never has concrete plans. But do you have any plans in the near next 3 or 4 or 5 years?
Um, Before no. Now my plan is right now I have my puppy.
Mm-hmm.
So my plan is to get myself stable and to get the best of a life for him as I can.
Good, 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 good for you. Good. How's your social life?
Um, it's actually pretty good. I wasn't
Good
as
on you.
social. I'm like I'm usually at work, so I don't really like have a lot of friends I talk to. I've talked to some of my friends here and there. So most of them are online,
Uh huh.
to be fair.
Uh huh. Uh-huh.
I do have a IRL best friend.
Nice.
But he's super busy and he lives like a state away.
Rip.
It's like it's not that far. We can't like make the commute,
It's
but
just
it's just
hard consistently.
yeah, because
Yeah.
he's busy and I'm busy, and it's like our he's a EMT,
Mm-hmm.
so his schedule's crazy. My schedule's like pretty normal, so it's pretty hard to work it out
Got it.
because
Got it.
usually when I'm working, he's sleeping.
Right, right, right. Okay. So
But
I'm not a therapist, obviously you know this, but it's just something I
yeah,
want you to consider some things here. So I want to ask you a question here.
okay.
I want you to consider this. Is Overwatch has Overwatch become such an ego fueled thing because it was the one thing for a period of time, maybe not now, to where you were absolutely confident and dominant in? In other words, you were a very, very good Overwatch player and console. You were the best. And so then that was like what you tied your identity to for that period of time. And so then there's a fear of, oh, if I'm not great at Overwatch, then what do I have? Do you think that that applies to you or applied to you in the past to any sort of degree?
My whole mind just shattered.
I'm just a question. I mean, it might not, but just something to consider. Because there's a reason why younger players or younger people generally have more ego issues, is because younger people generally are more one-dimensional in their identity. I mean, think about the high school, right? There's the jock, right? There's the football player, there's the nerd, right? There's the
Mhm.
that's just normal. Like those are stereotypes for a reason. That actually happens a lot with younger folks. That's just who they are, right? I remember I was the guitarist guy. Oh yeah, that's who I am. Well, I'm so good at that, right? So if I was
Mhm.
bad at guitar, that was a big deal. I took that really hard. But I mean, think about what's happening now, right? Been like the last couple of years of your life, even like the last 6 months? Like I feel like you're expanding your job. You've got a new dog. You're expanding your horizons a little bit, even now, and you're still very young, right?
Right.
And so obviously you want to get good at Overwatch, but if let's say I coach you and you plummet the bronze and you drop the game entirely, what else are you going to do? Who else are you? You know? What do you identify with? Like if I sucked at coaching as of tomorrow, I would take that pretty
Mhm.
hard. But I've got other things that I identify with and that I enjoy and I have confidence with, and I have I have friends and family, and I enjoy music a lot, and I enjoy a lot of sports, and I'm good at this and that, and so I would be okay with it. It would hurt, it would suck, it always does,
Mhm.
but I'm not just the Overwatch coach. And I guess that's my question for you too. Are you just the Overwatch guy? Because that's scary. That's scary. If you were just imagine if Michael Jordan woke up one day and his legs are broken and he couldn't play basketball ever again during his peak. It'd
Mhm.
be devastating, right? Like absolutely devastating, because that's who he was.
Right.
And who are you?
Mhm.
You know?
On it. On that. Honestly, that just like shattered my. I don't know why that just like shattered my mind, but at the same time, it's just like making sense.
Just something to consider. Just something to consider. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to talk about how you can get better at Overwatch, but that's just going to fuel the drive. That's not going to solve the problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No.
We'll build confidence in this, but it's just something to consider. Um, okay, let's
I have a question
yeah,
before.
please.
With that kind of a thing, say I do say like in my like I know that I'm not, but say in my mind I believe I'm like only that Overwatch guy.
Right.
When even though I know like I have like other interests and I don't have like just Overwatch in
Right.
my like, somehow my brain has believed that I'm that Overwatch guy.
Right.
How would you? What would be like? I- What would be like the first step you would suggest to breaking
Hmm.
that, or like to reframing that
How long have
mindset?
you been pursuing Overwatch like consistently since season 5, right? Like playing a
Yeah.
lot of Overwatch, okay? And how
Yes.
long have you had this dog or had this job or pursued a better social life or done any other sort of external activity? I want you to mentally compare those numbers and then tell me
Mm.
what I'm going to suggest.
Overwatch has been it's been at least 4 years.
Right.
My puppy, my social life, and like my whole life in general, it's been at least a year,
Right.
or at least 6 months.
Okay.
To be
That's
honest, let's be honest with myself.
tough to beat, isn't it? Right?
Hmm.
So what I would suggest is, expand yourself in those regards wherever and whenever you can. If there's something else that you find out that you enjoy pursuing, or a hobby or a skill that you're like, maybe I want to pick up the guitar again, right? Go for it.
Mm.
But it's hard to compete with Overwatch right now. Just because it's been around for so very long, right? So
Right.
my solution is, continue to pursue those other things, but there isn't really a solution, is there? You just need to continue to buff those numbers up on those other categories, Be patient with it.
Would you say like possibly playing less would be a good idea?
Maybe. I mean, we're going to look at your numbers here in terms of your training and what your goals are. But
Mm.
I might have some insight in that. But maybe.
Okay.
So
Just for,
let's jump ahead then. Let's look right now. So you're playing. Well, you tell me. You talk about your training schedule, but you don't really elaborate on how much you're playing on a daily basis of Overwatch.
oh, I thought I did. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
I play around right? Yeah, 3 hours a day. 3 hours a day.
Uh,
3 hours a day max.
that doesn't
Like
seem. Go ahead.
like from Monday to Thursday, and then Friday I'll play like maybe 4 or 5 hours because it's the weekend.
Right.
Saturday and Sunday are usually my bigger playing days,
Mm-hmm.
where I'm playing like at least like 5 to 6 hours, and Sunday it's around that like that 5 hour mark because it's also tomorrow I got to wake up early for work. And
Yeah.
it's the whole cycle again.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, so I think maybe I would open up more time in your weekends to trying doing other things. Because if your goal is diamond, really, like let's say high plat, and then let's just say diamond for right now. Let's just get to diamond in Overwatch 2. You can get to diamond in Overwatch 2 with cutting down your playtime in the weekend significantly. 3 hours a day throughout the weekend and the week is definitely good enough to get to diamond. Definitely. And then what you can do is you make the decision from there whether you want to continue to pursue that or not. But definitely you can open up more time on your weekends. Because here's the thing. Diamond, maybe then Masters, and so on. That's the goal. But I think the goal is just to make needs to be make Overwatch more enjoyable by having less fear of failure because you're not tying all your focuses onto just this one success, right? And then also, especially when you say like it used to be Overwatch League or contenders, but lately lost hope in that due to a few factors and just aspire to be as good as I can. I think that's probably a good decision. And I mean, also Overwatch League and contenders just isn't the most aspiring thing to be right now.
Yeah.
I would say it's a 50-50 that there's Overwatch League season after next. I would go as far as to say that with a lot of, from what I know, in front of the scenes and behind the scenes.
Yeah, hindsight is like, yeah, it's not going good.
Yeah, no, it's not. I got out at a good time, and I wouldn't recommend anybody else to jump headfirst in either. And I think, especially with considering how you're already building and developing yourself as a person with all these new interests and new things, and even old things that are coming back, right? And I don't know. Let's get good at Overwatch. Let's enjoy Overwatch for what it is, but it doesn't need to be everything.
Right.
And at the very least, let's just start one step at a time. What are you going to do this month, next couple of months? Let's get you to diamond, okay? And we could do that with 3 hours a day. All right.
All right, sounds good.
to learn more about my mistakes and solutions that'll help me get past my level, possibly how to break your ego and let it go. I should redirect my attention to my roles, task, and objective. I mean, a lot of this is just kind of like a holistic approach, right? To where I think you need to always kind of keep in context that this is not everything. Overwatch is not everything. You're gonna like you were in 10 years from now. I highly doubt the rank that you hit in Overwatch is going to have really any sort of relevance in your day-to-day life or your enjoyment of the things that you're doing at that current point in time. So treat Overwatch as like a training ground of you being able to apply yourself to something without letting it completely consume you. And then also treat it as a training ground for, hey, I'm going to learn how to learn. I'm going to practice how to practice. I'm going to practice Overwatch because I enjoy the process, because it's fun, and also because it's a good way to actually learn how to get better at things that are not related to Overwatch, right? Because it's not an accident that there's a lot of carryover between Overwatch and other things. So we'll talk about specific actionable things that you could be doing in your gameplay. But if you want, I need to get over my ego. Well, I mean, I think the things that we said up to this point are probably going to be the better solutions for that, because that's more big picture. I'm not going to give you one quick trip to, get over your ego,
Right.
And there is no solution. We need to find out what's causing that ego and then to address it. And I think I don't even want to say that the ego itself is a bad thing. Like, everybody has ego, whether they admit it or not. It's just about how they're able to not even control their ego. It's not something that you need to control in terms of, my ego is too big. It's just like, okay, is your ego conflicting with the things that you want to do? Then yes. It's like the old trope of like, don't think less of yourself, just think of yourself less. I think that's a pretty accurate way of thinking about it, right?
Right.
It's not always about you winning, ego. Don't be so shallow like that. It's a lot more important than that. Okay, let's we've looked at your goals. Let's look at your training here, and we can dig in a little bit deeper than we already have. Prior to your video about aim training, I did about 10 to 20 minutes of aim labs, a small warm-up and PR, practice range and Genji blades, and go straight into ranked. After watching your video, I cut to a 5-minute aim labs to get my arm moving, then load up rank and do DM, strafe, custom workshop, go where I eat and relax before the next game. How's that been working for you? It's been a month now. How has that gone for you so far?
To be honest, I've cut out most of like the aim training and like loaded up, didn't just straight loaded up the game and went straight into ranked. Like if anything, I'll go into like a DM or free for all DM.
Yep.
But I've realized at first I was thinking about it like, okay, wait, I'm doing all this aim training and I'm still like around this area of plat diamond. What if I just instead cut it out entirely and just get into the game? So I tested that out for a week. And granted, a week isn't like a really good time frame to see if that's a consistent thing. I did see far better results compared to playing with these aim trainers. Granted, I wasn't peaking, but I noticed more consistency.
Okay, that's fine. I would still recommend warming up regardless. But if 5 minutes of warm up, 10 minutes of warm up tops is good enough for you, then roll with that. But I would still warm up.
Warm up with like an aim trainer, or just like
DM
in
is fine.
free-for-all?
DM's fine.
DM?
Yeah, DM's fine. DM's fine. Yeah, DM Vaxta. There was some other code that I pinned in that aim video. I forget, somebody suggested in the comments, and they gave it a try, and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty decent. So I gave that one a try as well. Okay, and then you said about 3 hours of ranked a day. We'll get to the weekends in a second. Are you taking breaks? Are you moving around? Are you going with goals? What does that generally look like?
I've been trying to move around. Lately, it's been hard because I just tunnel vision and I forget. But I'm trying to be more self-aware of that.
Okay.
And I'm like trying to implement just 2 games and then get up and go.
Yeah.
Because I really don't need to be sitting here for longer than 2.
Right. Okay.
I used to just sit here and just play, and I've noticed as I do that, my performance goes down because I'm someone who's affected by hunger a lot.
My wife is the same way.
So if I'm hungry, I get really irritated easily. My whole mood just swings.
So you're legit the Snickers commercial.
Yeah, literally. If I have a Snickers, I'm good. Literally.
That's funny. Okay, cool. Well, at least you're aware of these issues. You're aware of these shortcomings, and as long as you're making actions to fix them. Okay, what are your weekends looking like in terms of training? Because you talked about you play a lot in the weekends. So is it a lot of that more recreational? Is that all still just grinding ranked? What is that generally?
It's honestly mostly just grinding ranked.
Okay.
I used like at first I was like doing like the aim trainers and stuff, but like I've since I'm like trying to improve at Overwatch, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna focus on that.
Okay. Okay.
It, with hindsight, like I'm obviously gonna like I'm gonna figure out and plan out like how I play instead of just like dumping in a bunch of hours and just playing and playing. But
Being more
but
productive about
before,
it.
yeah, be more productive about
Yeah.
it because I don't know where I think it was Iostux. No, I, I just forgot the quote. Oh
That's
my, I'm
okay.
so sorry.
That's okay.
I'm sorry.
Sounded
I'm
like it
sorry
was a
for
really important one though.
yeah.
ISX has a
I
lot
don't
of
think
good
it was.
quotes, to be fair.
Honestly,
Did you know ISX coached me?
really?
Yeah, ISX was my first coach when I was literally silver. He coached me, brand new to the game.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Did he
long time ago.
was he who got you interested in like coaching?
Not no. I think he
Not
definitely
like
was.
directly.
He was definitely was an inspiration. I was a big coach guy, like even before, way before Overwatch. But he was definitely an inspiration with like how cut out the bull crap. You know, this is what you need to be doing. So I think he's, and I still watch pretty much every video he releases religiously because I think the way he phrases things and communicates is very good. So, but yeah, he was my first coach. But yeah, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, so the weekend is just more of a hard grinding thing. I think here's a question for you though. When it comes to like the ego or the tilt, how do you feel that rears its ugly head on weekends more, or is it just about the same as the week? Like I'm actually curious about that.
It's just about the same, to be honest.
Okay. Okay.
It's just
That's good. That's very good.
yeah, it's not like on the weekends it's even harder. It's just generally like it's just usually like I'm tilted.
Right,
I get
right,
myself
right.
I get myself mad and I just feed.
Okay, that's good. Because sometimes it happens with people I work with as they get tired because they're just grinding more the weekends. That the tilt and frustration and lack of focus becomes more of an issue. But if that's not an issue, that's good. Okay. Go ahead.
I notice you. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead.
I notice more when I'm tilted and when I'm like pushing that line. Like I notice myself like, okay, I'm way too mad for no reason. Like I need to just get up and get off.
All right. So you're
And
more
usually,
self-aware.
yeah. And usually if I'm like really mad, my puppies will just start like looking at me really scared. So then
Huh.
I'm like, yeah, okay, I need to stop.
Yeah.
I just need to get up and get off.
It's that's why relationships matter. They call you out in your bull. Dog isn't the most intelligent thing compared to a human, but dog is like, what's wrong with your attitude, bro? Like you good? And you're like, oh wait, what am I doing? It's like that. It's like the mirror. They pop like, wait. That's what I look like. This is how I'm really acting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. All right, let's we've had so many ugly things and difficult things that we've talked about. Let's go over the last one. Hero Pearl. Ashe, Sojourn, Junkrat, Echo, Pharah, Tracer, Sombra, Soldier, Genji, Reaper, Bastion, Hanzo, minimizing it to Ashe, Kree, Sojourn, and Tracer. Now, we've talked about why that hero pool was the case. It was because I think I can diff you on everything because I'm the greatest, and it's attempting to do that. At least that was how it was back in the day. Minimizing it to Ashe, Kree, Sojourn, Tracer as of a month ago. How has that gone, and why did you make that transition? I mean, that's a really stupid question, but yeah.
That transition it's been flip-floppy because a lot of times my ego does get the better of me, and I do go back to like switching to the Widow or switching to the Junkrat, switching to the Pharah, and making like small exceptions for myself where I'm like, it'll be fine if I just do it once. I'm just having fun. I don't care.
Right.
And then it just trickles down, and then I catch myself, and then I'm like, no, I just need to do nothing but play these 4 heroes because that's what I want to improve on.
Right.
If I'm trying to improve, I can't be trying to play 18 different heroes. I just need to stick with the 3 or 4 that I want to play. Like I've heard like 4 is like the absolute maximum.
Yeah, you're playing enough hours for a 3 or 4 is very reasonable.
And I'm just like I just need to focus on improving instead of trying to play to win. Because the more I'm trying to play to win, the more it'll fuel my ego. And
right.
Like that's already the biggest. That's already the big problem. That's already one of the
Right.
problems.
That's the problem with the ego swap, right? As soon as you make an ego swap, not only are you making it because it's an ego swap, but more often than not, it is going to be an ego swap because if you swap the Junkrat, do you have any goals with Junkrat? No.
No.
So what are you going to focus on? You're going to focus on winning the game. You're going to focus on being better than the enemy Junkrat, and that's exact the problem with that, right? Go ahead. Sorry.
Right. No. I was agreeing with you.
Okay. How has that gone since though? As you said you still have weak points, but has it overall been better?
It's overall been better.
Good. And that's what we want, right?
Right.
Nobody's
like
perfect.
No, by no means. I'm not the best.
Sure.
But I just try to. I think my brain, it's like my ego. I don't know why. It's like shifting to where I'm like trying to. At least with. It's a weird thing I have with my ego because like no matter like I'm sure it happens to everyone, but like no matter what I do, it'll shift the ego to where it's like, okay, I'm not gonna try to diff these people on. I'm not gonna try to diff this Torb. Okay, let me just diff this Kree. Or oh, they have a soldier Torb. I'm gonna diff the soldier.
Yeah.
And it just like shifts itself to where
Right.
I have to constantly be aware of like playing to improve and not trying to diff them.
Right. Well, it always comes back to playing to improve. I have people that struggle with that when they're dealing with like lack of confidence, right? Oh, I don't know. Well, your lack of confidence is irrelevant when you're trying to improve at some specific aspect. Or I'm trying to play to win. I get really frustrated when we win or lose. Well, the reason why you're focusing on the winning or losing is because you're not focusing hard enough on playing to improve. And the same thing with you. This is the ego swap, right? I'm playing well, no, you need to be playing to improve, right? So it's like, well, there's all sorts of distractions and negative consequences that differ from person to person that pop up when they're not focused specifically on what they need to do to improve. So that can be very hard to do. Nobody's perfect at it, even pros, but that's the goal, is to shift that to always doesn't matter where it's pulling you and what direction it's pulling you, but come back to flying to improve, right? All right, 6 hours of sleep, mostly 7 if I'm diligent. Okay, well, diligence is wonderful whenever possible. But I won't elaborate on that further. Obviously, you know I'm sure you're aware of the drawbacks and the benefits of more sleep. The drawbacks of lack of sleep, rather.
Yeah, I'm feeling it.
Okay. What do you feel is holding you back? Last question. And a lot of this we've already discussed on, but mentality and mechanics. Mechanics is secondary, but I feel like it has impact. My mentality is hot garbage. I feel like between the best I could do and being worse than bronze. So is there anything here that we haven't touched on or you would like to elaborate on further with mentality?
With mentality. I will say my mentality fluctuates very easily, but I feel like that's also because of the hunger issue.
Okay.
So it's like it goes hand in hand.
Sure.
And I feel because like there's days when I don't even notice how I'm playing until my mind consciously snaps itself awake.
Yes.
And it's like, wait, I'm actually doing really good. What the hell?
Right.
And then I'm self-aware and then I go back down.
That's always how flow state is. Wait, I'm in flow state. Crap.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. See that the way to set your goals though is in a way that if you do break the flow state, going back into a consciously thinking state is not playing as well, but it's still productive because you're still, for example, if we're focusing on corner positioning with you, if you're in flow state, maybe you're playing really well. But if you break that flow state and you're thinking and you're not playing that well, you could still control your corner positioning, right? You can still make progress at that. So yeah, it sucks to break your flow state, but it doesn't mean that you're going to lose the productivity of the session just because you broke your flow state. You're not playing to win. That's a great thing about ranked players is you're never really ever playing to win, ever, at any point in time. You're not on an Overwatch League stage. You're not in a contenders match. You're not even in a tournament setting. You're just playing another ranked game. And there's nothing that differentiates one ranked game from another ranked game. So you never, ever, ever, ever have to play to win. You should count yourself very lucky because playing for flow state is a really hard thing to do. And playing not to improve but playing to win is a really different skill set in of itself. But you never have to worry about that, do you? You just play to improve. There are thousands of ranked games left to be played, and none of them matter any more than the others. So if you break your flow state, it sucks, but it doesn't matter. Go back in and focus on improvement, tunnel vision on your improvement, and just go from there. Anything else about your mentality?
Not that I could think of right now.
Okay, mechanics. Mechanics is secondary, but I feel like it has impact, and yet you have skipped warm-up. Is that just because you don't feel like the mechanics was the most important thing at this point in time, and so then you did not put priority on it? Or did you feel like your warm-up and training your mechanics were like two separate things that weren't necessarily big overlap, which I would agree with? Kind of elaborate on that one, please.
I feel like it's more of the former, where I feel like right now, at least for the goal of getting to diamond, that little step, I feel like my mechanics are sufficient, and it's more about how I play, and from there I can transition there. From there, I can adjust and add to my routine as I need.
Okay.
That was
Okay.
like my thinking of it.
Right. Right. Okay. So what we'll
Because
do?
like I don't, because like I didn't want to focus. I'm sorry,
No,
but I
no,
didn't want to
no.
like focus on like aim so much because
Right.
I know, like I know from personal experience, like focusing too much on just strictly aim is gonna hurt every other part of my gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
To where I'm like, I have the best aim, but I'm a bot and I aim from literally main,
Mm-hmm.
where everyone can kill me.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
and like at on top of that, I could have good aim, but my movement can also mess me up.
Right.
So
Right. There's
it's
even aspects of mechanics within the mechanical focus,
yes,
like the movement.
exactly,
Right.
exactly.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I need to take it slower because I don't like. There's plenty of Overwatch to play, like you said. There's
Right.
plenty of ranks to hit. There's plenty of achievements. There's all that fun to play.
Mm.
I need to take a step back and just start and get back with the start getting back into what made me have fun with the game instead of just oh I need to win. I need to play to win.
Right.
There's no objective if I'm just playing to win because it's like why are you trying to play to win? There's
Right.
like you
Right.
said,
Right.
it's not Overwatch League. There's nothing on the line. It's just me playing in a plat lobby. There's
That's
no
true.
real
That's true. That's true. That's true. All right.
like
Fair enough.
yeah.
I think for you with the mechanics, we'll take a look at it in the actual VOD.
Mm.
But if mechanics are a lacking point, then we can talk about it, and then we can talk about how you would train better mechanics. But I think that's fair enough, and I think, like you said, more often than not, it's not the most pressing issue. But if you do feel like it becomes a problem, just shoot me a DM, and I'll give you my suggestions if we don't touch on it in this VOD. Sound good?
Sound good?
Okay. Any other questions before we actually start streaming our Overwatch?
No, I feel like we've touched a good part on the mentality. I feel like now the Overwatch can start.
Sure. Let's begin.
Get into the meat of it.
Sure. What is Cassidy good at? Why pick Cassidy?
I don't- the first thing that came to my head was because he's fun, but
I mean, that's fair enough. Why? Let's just compare him to the heroes that are already in your pool, just to simplify it. Why would you pick Cassidy here and not shoot? Where is your hero pool? Ashe, Sojourn, Tracer.
I know Cassidy. He's good at poke and brawl,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt like we had the Rhine and the Ana to where that Cassidy was a good pick here.
Sure.
I didn't feel like the Ashe was going to be super powerful because I felt like I think I heard they had a hog. I don't really remember,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I felt like since they might have a hog because usually they have like to be honest, there's mostly hogs nowadays.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was like,
Mostly Hugs.
since hog is pretty prevalent, he can just try to sneak around me and just kill me.
Okay.
So I feel like for one, not playing that long range to where I'm gonna tunnel vision and I might tunnel vision and he'll just get me or somehow I don't hear it. Or somehow I just don't even hear him
Yeah. I
and
got
he
you.
just walks behind me
I got you.
and just I feel like instead playing near my team will be more beneficial.
Yep. Yep. There's only two things that you should be considering when you're considering hero swaps. Just two. Really simple. One,
Okay.
your comp / enemy comp, right? Just the compositional situation. So you're saying like here you would prefer to play something with you don't have to scope in versus a Roadhog like who might flank in you and catch you off guard. That's a little bit minor, but okay, fair enough. You look at they're on Torb, right? So maybe Tracer is fine on versus this comp, but it wouldn't be as good as another hero, right? They're on Cassidy, Torb, Kiriko, Hog. There's a lot of things that would be kind of annoying for Tracer to deal with. And then you consider that all those things, all those factors, just what does your gut tell you? Sojourn, Ashe, Cassidy, Tracer? Okay, Cassidy, all right? Then you consider the map. And oftentimes the map is even more important than the composition on the enemy team and or your team. And what do you think about Midtown? There's a lot of dynamics with Midtown, right? Long range, short range. Yeah. But what do you think about Midtown?
What do you mean by that?
How would you describe Midtown? Is it a sniper map? Flanker map? Brawl map? Consider all 3 points.
Well,
kind of tough, isn't it?
It's very fluid. I would honestly say.
I would agree with that. So, is there any one hero that you feel is a must pick on Midtown? Do you think this is Junkertown first point, where you can only really play Widowmaker or Tracer?
No.
Is this a Lijiang Tower control center where you would have to play a Sojourn or Cassidy and an Ashe would feel horrible? No. It feels pretty fluid, right?
Yeah, it's very fluid. Like you can make almost anything work here.
Right. There's no long ranges. There is long ranges, but there's also mid ranges, and there's also short ranges. So it's totally up to you. Now, there's some maps that are going to discourage certain heroes, and there's some maps that are going to encourage other heroes. This map, it's really going to be up to you, whatever you want to play. So if you look at the enemy comp, and you look at your comp, you're like, I would like to play Cassidy with this. Works for me. Consider comp, consider map, then make the choice. Consider range of the hero that you're playing, and if anything on the enemy team counters you, and then play around that. And also consider that if the enemy team counters you, it doesn't necessarily mean that you should be playing to swap. It just means that you might need to adjust your playstyle. That's all a part of the process of learning a new hero. Just don't play the same way versus the same composition, expect the same results, right?
Right.
Okay. Any questions before we keep going?
No.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Let's take a look here. Nice. Good roll on the hook there. I will say sticking the Roadhog, not the biggest return on investment for your cooldown, and it is a 10-second cooldown, I believe. So, Because the question you have to ask yourself, is there going to be a better use of Flash in the next 10 seconds? Maybe, probably, likely, right?
Right.
Just a bit of a feed, and I didn't feel like I was like kind of surprised that he hooked you and killed you, but yeah, whatever. We don't care.
Happens.
Oh no! Again.
Yeah, this was if I remember correctly, this was a kind of a painful game.
Yeah. Oh no! The replay code bug is rearing its ugly head. Do you hear that?
Yeah. No.
I don't know why it does this. I'm gonna have to mute the audio, sadly. Okay. I don't know why it does that. It does that about once every month. It did it actually a week ago, and then now it's doing it again. Okay.
It does it that often for you? It does it all the time for me. Like,
really?
Every VOD I do, like rewind or fast forward with, it always has that audio.
No, it almost never. It did it for me really bad early on in like the beta in Overwatch League, but it's been quite good for a long time, and then it started to become an issue more often recently. You're crazy. Haha, the ego. There we go. Love it. Nothing really crazy at the moment. I think that we questioned that flash usage or the grenade usage. I'm just gonna call it flash. I don't even care. Stupid ability. And then positioning I think could have been a little bit better as well. We're kind of rolling at the moment now. Because we obviously have a lot of gameplay to get through and not a lot of time. So we'll look for low-hanging fruit here. Good use of cover. I like this off angle. I think one thing you can consider with Cassidy, here's like a good general like guideline here if we're trying to make it binary, is you look at the enemy comp. Do you or should you go for hard off-angle flanks and try and assassinate backline, or can you just kind of play to hold an angle and poke? Look at their comp. What do you think?
Well, it's more of a poke.
Yeah, I mean, I really. Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was gonna say, as like looking at it and looking back and thinking back, trying to make that flank play is definitely not the solution to or like the game plan, because there's a lot of like granted, there's 1v1s I believe I can win.
Yeah.
Like it's very valuable, but at the same time, for some reason I just look at it and I just think that there's a lot of one-shot potential for them to
Yeah.
kill me,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I won't be able to have that
Right.
assistance
Right.
if I'm not playing.
I don't think it would be bad. I think it would be okay if you decided to roll for that. But the biggest thing is to me is like, is there anything like a Sojourn Railgun, a Zenyatta, a Widowmaker, Ashe, Hanzo that's going to make your life miserable trying to poke? And I think the answer is no. Right.
Not really.
I think you're equal range in pretty much everything that they have, and so you could just kind of chill and shoot people and you'll be fine. So I don't think it would be bad if you did though, but probably not necessary. So we're gonna go on a flank here. This is, like I said, fine. I just don't like this use of grenade. You just use it off as soon as you see a fat body to throw it on. And remember, return on investment here. Like, is it value? Yes, but it's not a low enough cooldown to where I want you to just use it off of cooldown, right? Again, the question is if this BAP jumps up here, could you have a better use of this grenade? And the answer is yes. You could even have rolled here and stuck the BAP as he was dropping and guaranteed his death. Now, he dies anyway, but you didn't know that for certain. So I think, like, is it the highest return on investment ability in the game? Oh, not even close, right? However, you don't have to think a whole lot about stuff as Cassidy. So the one cooldown that's, I think, really, truly relevant, please put some thought into it.
Got it.
And I will say this as well. So this is a great example of what I call the it's the, I forget what it's called. It's basically like the Plat main botting, to where you start missing shots and you literally turn into Frankenstein. This happens all the time. Watch your positioning here, okay? You start missing shots and then look at what you do. Ready?
Go out.
Here it comes. You miss a couple of shots. Wait. Okay. Wait. Stop. What? Hello. Right. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The Plat magnet. Yes, that was what it is called. Thank you. Somebody in chat helped me out. Yeah, the Plat magnet. This used to happen all the time in 2CP, where you'd have like this on and zen. They'd start missing shots and they'd just start pressing W. Look what you do here. You miss some shots. Okay, unfortunate. But I'm sorry, but pressing W into the middle of the enemy team doesn't solve that. The irony here is you actually make it harder for you to hit shots because you're moving instead of just holding the corner. And then you either guarantee your death or you guarantee your complete irrelevance in the fight. So hold the corner. I know you're missing shots, but hold the corner. And the funny thing is if you held the corner here and just stood still, because there's actually no risk of you holding, you don't need to be moving right now because he's not looking at you. You would hit the shot and he would die, and then you would be able to hold this position and be safe, right?
Right. So
this is the true, besides the goofy hog death and the Torb death, which to me felt more goofy than really truly a bad mistake. That was like, I think, the first really truly egregious error that we need to consider. Okay. So hold the corner, hold the position, no Plat magnet. And that's actually a really common issue. People start missing shots and they start holding W. All right. So Ryan's pushing up. We're going to go push up with him. Take the high ground. Ryan is really, really good at this skill. We're going to walk forward. I mean, this is what we want to see with grenade, right? Obviously, lamp is a little bit unfortunate. I mean, maybe lamp will expire in time, but I think this is good return on investment. Bam, there it is, right? That's a good grenade. Should be very proud of that. It's exactly what we want to see. You didn't just chuck it on the Orisa. You found a target. You killed the target. Perfect. I'll say here as well. So here's a good question. Okay. So is this an example of the Plat magnet that we talked about here? Look at this. Yes, kind of, sort of. But also what's happening in the top right of your screen? There's no audio here, so we're gonna have to kind of use more visual cues. Do you see?
We're winning the fight.
Right, we're winning the fight by a lot. So is it reasonable for you to push up to the next position to chase daggers? Is it reasonable for you to press W in general?
I would say yes,
I think
but
it's okay.
not like completely. Like maybe the corner near point.
So I would be very happy if you just stood here and just shot people. But I also don't have as much of a problem with you pressing W here. But I'm hoping that you're pressing W as a result of the way the fight is going, and not because you're missing shots. You know? So this could still be the Plat magnet on accident.
The inverted Plat magnet.
Right. You were just all about making that tank mad. Very good use of your grenade. Very nice shot. We love to see it. Okay. Nice little juicy stagger onto the Orisa. Nice shot. You really do not like that Orisa.
To be fair, she got nanoed and pushed me.
True. I mean, listen, that's what she's supposed to do. If she gets a kill, that's a fight win right there. And Orisa can just delete anybody that she wants if she can.
Nah, it was just funny. It's just funny though.
Yeah. Okay. I think the use of grenade there is a little shaky, but whatever. We wanted to hit the prediction, so we're all right. Good use of cover, corners, scouting. It's fine. It's kind of funny. Again, we're seeing a little bit of the Plat magnet here. So, like, okay. I respect that you're trying to go this direction, but just be careful about, like, just pressing W into the middle of the enemy team. Here's another question for you. So, I know it's high noon here, but again, I'm kind of already answered this question. But what is your priority at this point in time?
What was my goal? I'm trying to
use your ultimate. Use it. Use the ultimate. Do it. Did you hear that?
Would it be advised? No, I'm not. You know what? I'm not gonna ask that question. I'm just gonna no. I know the answer to that. I know the answer to that question, so I'm not gonna ask that question.
Right. Good. Use the ultimate. You have a lot more freedom with this ultimate, especially in Overwatch 2, because you have the damage reduction. So how would you get value out of your high noon? Not get kills, but how would you get value out of your ultimate? Is there anything first off that you really must have high noon versus?
Is it bad? I'm sorry. Is it bad that I totally forgot that they added damage reduction for high noon? So
Yes,
I've been playing this entire time like
that's pretty bad.
It was Overwatch 1
Yeah,
high noon.
that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. It ramps up slower, but the damage reduction is significant and is a lot harder to kill you in high noon. A fully charged Widowmaker headshot cannot kill you. Yeah. Use the ultimate. How would you use the ultimate now that you have the blessing of the basic knowledge?
I would probably noon from right around where I'm standing.
Here? I mean,
not right there, moving a little bit forward near
like
the
here?
cover.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, this could work here. I think this could work here. It would cause a lot of chaos, right? Like really, what is noon used for? Be honest.
Just zoning.
Right. Cause a split, cause chaos. I mean, music from here is like, honestly, I don't love it, but okay, it's fair enough. Like, it's going to cause some chaos. What about like just popping here, right here on this corner here, or popping like as your Rhine pushes, you kind of hold this position here and you press noon on the corner.
That would be much better.
Yeah, or if you could get a mercy pocket, somebody's in chat saying like going high ground. Yeah. These are all reasonable options. It's just because you know what the Orisa is going to do.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to fortify and probably spin, and they're going to all focus on you and or split off and back off. Somebody's going to get caught out. Split, or you're literally just going to be allowed to push cart all the way to this corner because you pressed 1Q. Which honestly, is it the most valuable in the game? No, so just use it. It would either be that, or I would be playing normally, wait for some cooldowns, and then look for a use of it mid-fight once the already cooldowns have been used, and then you're getting kills with it, right? But like either way, I think even if you're playing Cassidy, your priority needs to be probably looking to find something to use out of your high noon. Like right now, okay, you've just seen Fortify. Why not turn the corner and press Q? Okay, they're Sojourn ulting on you, rip. Okay, just something to consider. I think because the reason why that's important is because thinking about that ahead of time changes that puts context with how you should position, how you should use your abilities, what corner you're playing on, right? Rather than just defaulting and then just being like, oh, I guess I could use my ultimate. Like, think ahead of time. Like, right now, you could be ulting this right now. She's fortifying and she's pushing. Ult this. Zone her out, kill her, or buy your Rhine some space here.
Right.
You can hide. Yes, this is good. This is a good use, right? I think you could have held it for longer, right? Create a little bit more space, cause a little bit more zoning, do a little bit of extra damage to that Orisa. I'm noticing a consistent pattern here. Nice, use a grenade. She's dead. Very good. Think about this. This is where we're going to get really juicy with it. What if you had naded this Orisa? I thought you were, actually. I was pretty convinced that you were going to use it. I was fixing to coach you to tell you why you shouldn't do it, but then you didn't use it, and then look what happens.
Mm-hmm.
You see? You would have died here, and you would have not had your grenade. You would have died.
Right.
If you didn't have grenade here. That grenade was absolutely instrumental in you being able to secure that kill on that Sojourn without dying. So, food for thought. Nice job. How should you position here? I just did a Midtown map guide like day before yesterday, so it's like fresh on my mind. Where should you go? Consider your hero.
I would point. No, not point. No.
No. It's not a good angle for your hero. Not good cover. Not good assassination potential either.
Realistically, we're either near my mercy standing or
What about here?
on like the floor, right? Not not near the train.
Well, either one. What do you think?
Honestly, I would say the lower level would be better.
Okay. What about here?
I like there better.
Yeah, I do too. I like the left side better for you. It's a shorter sight lane, more cover. Yeah. But either one better than this, right? This was questionable.
Yeah.
Because your Rhine ends, yeah, but like you had no assassin. Even if that fight devolves in cart, it feels like really, truly horrible. Surely they won't find you. Surely. Haha, this is hilarious. Oh, please tell me they don't find you. Please, please, please. I'm begging. Nice, nice. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh. Our hero's arc has failed. The Orisa got secured the kill. Man. That's just depressing. Alright.
It would have worked if the Rhine didn't pin in. I will say that.
True. Where should you be right now?
On left. On that left side.
Why?
Because it has cover, there's healing, and also I almost have my ult, so it's a really good sideline.
Yeah, but here's an even more important question. You got cover, health pack, yeah, but do you really want to be shooting a fortified Orisa right now? Right. Do you want to be shooting these squishies at this range?
Anything on their team would be better than the Orisa.
Right, and even if you're shooting Sojourn here, it's hard shots, and this is a crappy range for you, right? So, Is this a better range?
Yes.
Yes, if they push you, what do you do?
You just back up.
You back away. Right. This is not playing to the strengths of your hero at all. Not just about angles, right? Angles matter, yes, but also you're playing Cassidy like you're playing a sniper, essentially. And then I will say this as well, Plat magnet. It's secret, but it's a Plat magnet. You see that? A little bit of the W key there. She's not even looking at you. You're in your cover. Just stand here. Just hit your shots. You need to walk forward. Stop using that ability without thinking. Do you see that grenade?
Yes.
I don't care if she spins. The spin is not the problem. If that sticks, do you know how much damage that does? Including fortify, because she's nanoed, so it's essentially fortified damage reduction. It might be actually might be more damage reduction. I'm not sure. The armor damage reduction, I don't know the exact number, but it's ridiculous. It does it's a tickle, right? It's not worth using. Not worth using. Because 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Like, there was an opportunity. Now, obviously, he was nooning, and you're an idiot for peeking it. However, there was a reasonable situation where you push this Cassidy, and you need that grenade, right? And you don't have it until now. But, whatever. Okay. Alright, we get rezzed. We could noon this. Not now. Oh, you got stuck. Oh, you just got rolled. Okay. Don't care about that one as much. Go to Tracer. Okay, so what are you seeing with your Cassidy? What are the low-hanging fruits? I mean, and we'll maybe look at like one team fight with Ashe, but I think the Cassidy's going to be the more important one for you. What are you seeing with your Cassidy? We talked about a lot of different things, but what are you seeing?
I'm seeing that it's a very ego push forward, play main, and look for the 5k. new.
Right. So what adjustments should you be making with your play? We've talked about at least 3 crucial things. What have you seen though? You tell me.
First I would say is to shorten my angles.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Versus this composition, right? What if they were
yeah,
on Genji, Tracer, Sombra, Reaper? You see what I'm saying?
to
Something to
play more
consider.
like be more flexible with my play style instead of just playing one dimensional.
Right.
Um,
What else have you
I
seen?
w- to ignore the plat magnet.
Huh.
To just if I don't need to do more than is necessary.
Consider
If
when you
I
just need to hold the angle, right? Rather than W because you're missing shots, right?
yes,
But I think even more important than that, because that one's a little bit theoretical. It technically only happened a couple of times, I think, over the course of the game. But what happened more than a couple of times and is a little bit easier to think about? Consider
my
yeah.
my time bomb
Yeah,
grenade.
your grenade, flash, whatever. Right. So what needed to be worked on with that specifically? How would you fix that?
Um, use it as a finishing kill. Don't use it to kill the. Don't use it to get damage.
Well, I
Or
wouldn't
to
even say that. Just use it when it's actually useful. Don't just throw it on the tank, right? Use it to
Right.
force a Tracer recall. Use it to force the Genji out. Use it to duel the Cassidy on the flank. Use it to assassinate the Squishy when you're pushing hard. You will find a use. And if there really truly is going to be no use besides sticking tank, then stick tank over and over and over again. Go for it. Do it really well. But I think you can look at this objectively and be like, that was not the best use of it. It's a 10-second cooldown. Something to consider. Okay, do you have any questions so far?
No, not really.
Okay, let's look at one fight with Ashe and see if we can establish some simple guidelines. How would you describe Ashe?
Mid range hero, mid range sniper.
Mid to long.
Who is
Yeah,
mid to long.
More. Why would you pick Ashe here instead of Cassidy?
Dynamite and Bob.
Right. Well, why would you pick her? Why would you? But then why didn't you pick Ashe on attack? I guess is the question then. Because Dynamite and Bob still apply, but what's changed?
We're defending and we have more of the map.
Right. So how does that change the sight lines that you'll probably be playing in?
They should be long range.
Yeah, you see?
They should be longer range and
Yeah.
safer.
Whereas here it's a little bit tighter. Yeah.
Mm.
It's as simple as that. It's probably something that you probably didn't think about too much, but you probably kind of came to that conclusion subconsciously. And I think that that's probably a fair conclusion to come to. Now, if they're on Widowmaker, you'd have to pretty much adjust. But you look at their comp, you've got pretty much range on the Bastion and the Cassidy and the Roadhog. So I think you playing more of a long-range position is probably fine. So I will say that, like, do you see the issue with your positioning right now? It was fine to start with, but...
Now it's dangerous.
Right, it's dangerous because how close is this Bastion to you?
You can sniff my hat.
Right, how close is this Roadhog and Lucio and Ana to you?
Sleep, hook, and speed boost range.
Right, so this is really awkward to stay here. So then where should you go as soon as you possibly can?
As far away as possible.
Right, so maybe here?
Yeah, there are, like, on the back right side of point, not towards enemy spawn.
Like this. If you can get the kill on the Bastion and you can hold this position here, I think this angle is really good. Nice, but it's that Bastion flank that's like really giving us a headache, you know? So let's see what happens. Maybe we can kill this Bastion? I mean, yeah, you just got stuck. Okay, I lied. We'll watch a little bit more of that. We'll watch a little bit more of Ashe. We'll watch a little more. Ashe is still gonna feel good on second too. Same reason why she felt okay at first, right? The sightlines of being on high ground are generally going to be long, so something that you can abuse. The habit to spray on every kill on their tank is persisting. Nice shots. So I think this is a reasonable angle for you to play. I might consider playing this one because it's slightly longer, but I don't think it's a major issue. I wouldn't get super nitpicky, you know, just kind of use your judgment, right?
Right.
Nice. Nothing really fancy here. Again, we don't want to obsess over the details here. We just want good general decisions. If anything majorly wrong with your Ashe, then we'll point it out. think the first fight positioning was the major one. Oh. And I think you can see, like, this is, I mean, you're repositioning here, but this doesn't feel great, right? This doesn't feel great. You need more of a long-range sightline or something with cover. I think it just goes down to crack because you were doing the nice thing and taxing your mercy, and then that meant that you just had a horrible, horrible, horrible position.
Right.
Now, here's a question for you. Is there ever a situation in which you would want to play short sightlines as Ashe, even into a composition like this?
To play short sidelines?
Mm-hmm. Play for a flank. Would you ever want to push up here into them?
Yes.
When? And for what reason?
To be honest, right now looks like a good opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Because
For what?
take away
For
to
what?
take the high ground up.
To take the
take
high
the high ground.
With what? Consider your hero. What do you have?
Bob.
Bob. And consider your
Dynamite.
abilities. Dynamite, right. So Dynamite, is that a good long range or a good short range ability?
More long range.
More long range, but can you walk around the corner and just throw it at the feet and Dynamite and get good value?
Absolutely.
Right, so Dynamite's a very flexible ability. Ashe's gun likes mid to long, but Ashe's abilities are flexible, are they not? So
Yes, they are.
even your ultimate too, right? So you could walk out here and throw your Bob here, and I wouldn't recommend it in terms of return on investment, but you could walk up here and throw your Dynamite here. Now, would you want to stay there and shoot? Maybe, maybe not, but something to consider. Something to consider. So if you went up here and played a short sightline with Ashe, I'm not going to be screaming and crying because it seemed reasonable given the moment, like the decision at the point in time, right? This Bob I hate, but this Bob has nothing to do with range, isn't it? What's the problem with this Bob?
Positioning. And
Right.
And where I place them.
So why was your positioning bad? Why was the placement bad? Did you put any effort into scouting or choosing a target or anything on this Bob?
No.
No, you just threw it. And shockingly, it does jack all. So, that's a low-hanging fruit for Ashe. Look at somebody with Bob. You're juking this hog, so that's always a plus, though. Well done. This positioning here seems reasonable, right? Decent range, considering we're not actually getting Dynamite value. Good cover, but yet look at what we did. Do you see? You walked forward for no reason. You saw everything that you needed to see, and yet you chose to walk forward. So this fight was a complete cataclysm. Goofy Dynamite value, poor Bob value, poor positioning. It's a mess. So what would have been the easiest fix? Not in the middle of the chaos, but the easiest fix right now. The fight's starting. What are you thinking?
Playing around the little wall.
What's the priority at this point in time? Remember when we were talking about Cassidy? Because every hero is the same in some way, shape, or form, right? What was the priority with Cassidy? Remember on third attack, what we were talking about with your high noon, right? Why was that important?
Because it was his zone and also get a kill.
Right. It's the ult. Use the ult. So your ult kind of affects everything that you want to do in the fight most of the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you go into this fight, what are you thinking at this point in time?
Where and when to use Bob.
Right. So that becomes your priority. You walk into this fight, you're thinking, can I take high ground with this Bob? Oh, they're on high ground. Okay, maybe I can't go high ground. Is there anybody in card I could Bob? Maybe I shouldn't Bob card. Maybe I should try Bob high ground. Can I Bob? Oh, I should probably Bob high ground now. Wait, no, I'll Bob high ground because they'll just drop off. Okay, maybe I go top and then, okay, if they drop, then I can Bob cart from behind. Like, you kind of see what I'm saying? And maybe you did something really stupid because you're thinking too much. But at least you learn something from that. This doesn't feel like you're learning anything. This just feels like we just kind of did stuff and yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You should be. This is some pre-fight. You could be making these decisions and be thinking, and then if you make a mistake mid-fight because things got chaotic, that's okay. That's sad, but that's okay. We can live with that. I don't like this where it doesn't feel like you are thinking at all. You are just kind of autopilot and going through the motions around Bob, which is your ultimate, for crying out loud, right? Now, if you didn't have Bob, then that's when you need to consider your positioning and the angles that you might take and whether you want to flank Dynamite. But even then, that's still something you should be doing pre-fight, is trying to think ahead of time. Like right now, what's your priority right now? What are you thinking?
where and when to use dynamite.
Right, and where should I position, right? Like around both my dynamite and my gun. Are you positioned okay right now? Yes or no?
Yes.
It's okay. Could you position more aggressively? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But these are things to consider. Okay, so we get a flank in the bastion, we back off. Okay, good use of cover. That's why cover is important. Dynamite's not the greatest return on investment. Very similar kind of concept as Cassidy's grenade, is it not?
It really is, yes.
One squishy is infinitely better than one tank. Forces so much more pressure. Nice little shatter, winnable. Dynamite usage is good. Maybe we get a relevant Bob here. Bob and cart. That's going to force beat and whole hog. Okay, we don't care. Fair trade. So, stopping here. What is a low-hanging fruit or one of the low-hanging fruits with Ashe that you have seen?
My Bob usage and my Bob placement.
And how are you going to fix that besides being just Bob usage needs to get better? What about your Bob usage needs to get better?
With my Bob usage, I need to be thinking more of it instead of just using it to use it.
Right.
So I need to think about where I'm using it, when I'm using him, and the angle that he'll take.
Sure. That is a really, really, really low-hanging fruit with Ashe, but it's a consistent thing that you can be doing because Bob is actually a freaking it's a powerful ultimate. It really is. Even in higher ranks, it's a powerful ultimate. So if you consider that, it's easy, it's simple, but it's going to have an impact on your gameplay. Anything else that you saw with Ashe? That was the big one.
Also my dynamite.
Okay, what about your dynamite?
With dynamite, getting same with Cass, honestly, with his grenade.
Yes.
Just use it more efficiently instead of for damage.
I agree. Do you have any questions?
No, not really.
Okay. Keep in touch. Let me know how all this stuff goes. And remember, everything that we talked about before the Cassidy review was probably a lot more important than anything that we talked once the gameplay review actually started.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Thank you very much.
Okay, you're very welcome. Do you know the replay code rule?
I do not.
Okay, replay code rules. If you have any questions on any of the future games that you might play, like I don't know how to position here, I didn't know how to use Bob here, I didn't know how to use Noon here, was this a good use of grenade or should I have saved it? Send me the replay code with a couple of timestamps and I'll get back to you with some written feedback within a couple of days. Sound good?
Okay. Sounds
All right,
good.
mate. Keep in touch. Good luck and have a good rest of your weekend.
You as well. Thank you so much.
Cheers, mate. See ya. All right, that was Muck Duck, the hit scan extraordinaire. Hope you guys find that one educational. We have one more review. Short stream today, guys. Very sad, depressing, and quiet stream today. Boring, 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 boring. Surely nothing exciting will happen today. Surely. Bender. 30-minute gameplay review. Applying update bug is currently happening, so I'm going to have to restart Overwatch. Bender, thank you for the sub. Are you ready to get your gameplay reviewed? I'm going to read through your stuff on stream, and then we will get your replay code pulled up, and then we will move on from there. Not only yeah, but yeah and yeah with an exclamation mark. Fantastic. Hopefully it's Junker Queen to make things interesting. Junker Queen? What on earth are you talking about? Junker Queen. There are some sirens going on in the background. I don't know what's happening. Palraiso. Let's check Bender's replay code out. But first, let's check out Bender's coaching form first. Lots to read. Gameplay review, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys don't know, is basically where we go about 30-35 minutes, usually a little bit over, on gameplay, with a main focus on gameplay without the person and voice. And we just give it a quick look. Bender, let's check out your form. Currently focused on Tracer, trying to maintain Ashe Cassidy on the back burner. Sounds good. You'll send some notes in a Discord message. Got it. 3 to 5 games is your normal daily baseline. That there are days when I'm really thinking the zone I'll play 10 to 12. That's a pretty big variance, so just keep that in mind that consistency is key, but if 10 to 12 is not burning you out, then that's fine. Plat 3 now. Congratulations. Well done. Very glad to hear that. The sirens are really going nuts. I hope everybody is all right. That always concerns me when I hear that. What do you hope to get out of the session? One question answered. Some practical things to work on with Tracer, especially in the neutral fight, as well as better mentality for your post swarms. Okay. All right. Hero pool is currently focused on Tracer. Okay. 6 to 8 hours of sleep. Okay. What are your long-term goals? Keep learning and improving. Really enjoy the learning process and seeing the results of your efforts. What do you feel is holding you back? Sometimes mentality and time. Okay. So let's check out your actual message here before we get into the review. Okay. All right, here's the replay code. I was grouped with 2 people in the game, Brady the Burn and Athene. I feel like I was struggling in the neutral fight. The enemy team was doing a good job of peeling when I pressured it on, and I felt like we kept losing people before the fight could even start. Sometimes that just happens, okay? It seemed like the only way we could make progress was if I managed to make a big play before the other team was ready. Yeah, I think I made a few big plays in this game, but there were a lot of fights I didn't or with my plays, and I'm trying to figure out how to win this game without being totally dependent on them, LOL. During our defense, I started on Sojourn, but I didn't feel like I had enough space to play her effectively, so I went back to Tracer. I did get a bit worked up when our Dank made a big deal about really wanting me to switch to Reaper, or back to Sojourn, which messed with my nerves a little bit. I usually stay out of voice chat, but since I was in a group, I joined. The last fight in defense came down to whether I landed another pulse bomb. I think I got a bit antsy under the pressure combined with what the tank had said earlier and rushed it, whiffing it. Sad. I'd like some help with winning the neutral fight, so I'm less dependent on big plays and how to be more consistent with those big plays. I guess the theme is how to be more consistent. Specific question regarding pulse bomb mentality. You can answer this part as part of the review or specifically via message if you prefer. With Ashe, you always say when you have your ult, your focus should be on positioning to utilize Bob. Would you say the same is true for ults like Tracer, where they're potentially high impact but also intermittent, fairly fast to charge? So I think for Tracer, it depends on the enemy composition a little bit. That's a great question. So we always talk about, we literally just talked about it in a review, actually with Ashe, about when we have Bob, it completely changes how you play, how you position, right? Because it dictates your play style. However, with Tracer, you're like, well, does Pulse Swarm completely change how I play? And the answer is, it depends. It's definitely not yes, it depends. So what I would say is for Tracer, if there is an easy target to stick, like let's say there is a Winston, or let's say there's a Zenyatta in the backline, then yes, I would say it depends on, it definitely affects how you position. If there's a Zenyatta, I might be playing just for the more aggressive, go for the pulse on the backline, rather than maybe trying to duel their DPS or whatever. I mean, you're still probably going to be looking to duel Zenyatta anyway, but you're definitely going to be going for the Zenyatta if you've got a pulse bomb. If they're on Winston, maybe Winston is not somebody that you're normally targeting, you're going more for backline, but if a Winston's diving in and doesn't have primal, a stick on a Winston is usually a kill when he jumps in. That's a really, really low hanging fruit for there. So yes, it will change your what your playstyle often, but not every time. Sometimes there's just not a great target to stick it, so you just do the normal things, but now you have to do your normal things with a pulse bomb, right? Thinking like sleep dart, I don't usually set up for it, but mostly just opportunistically. That's oftentimes the case, but it's not the case every time. So we'll look at the specific instances in the VOD review. I'll add one other thought, especially on Tracer. I feel like I struggle into one shots. Hanzo, Ashe, Junkrat, I seem to often spend a little bit too long in their sights or approach in such a way so that they're able to get the shot off on me before I get the kill on them, and I'll end up dying when I should. I'm not sure what's my approach, positioning, timing, or something else. Maybe staying in the fight too long. Could be a little bit of both. One crucial thing versus one shots as well is mechanics and how you're using your blinks and entering the fights with as many blinks as possible for juking. The difference between a good and a bad Tracer, as a person who's played a lot of Zenyatta, who's played a little bit of Hanzo, is, and Ana as well with Sleep Dart, is unbelievable. The amount of 80-80 strafing and the blink management is makes that duel really, really hard. However, an easy Tracer feels like you just one-shot him every time. So we'll look at how your mechanics are with the hero, and might just mean that you just need more time moving with the hero, because Tracer mechanics and Tracer movement is really, truly difficult. Okay. Let's take a look at this. Let me change the VOD here. I'm going to leave the hit scan thing in there, but we are going to be looking at Tracer and Tracer specifically. Let's get started. Is the VOD, the replay, still buggy? Maybe it actually sounds okay, because we had the distorted audio earlier, so hopefully it sticks around. Plat, yes, Plat Tracer. All right, so I look at the enemy composition. I'm immediately thinking assassinations or backline pressure. Widowmaker generally over Ana, because Widow is easier to kill, and yeah. I mean, both are high value kills, but Widow is easier to kill, so therefore she becomes more a priority target for you, because even if you don't kill her, you cause more chaos on her. This day is indeed tailor-made. See, this is a great example of you prioritizing the wrong target. So is this valuable? Yes. But is this the highest return on your investment? No. I think in this situation, it would have been totally fine for you to double blink to here and then maybe look for pressure on the Widowmaker, or maybe even triple blink, shoot, 80-80 strafe, force her to screw around, and then you can even recall out, or at which point when she reacts to you, you'll have one blink charged back up again. I think this is a what? Is this, can you triple blink this, chat? I would go, I would definitely at the very least blink across or double blink to the stairs here and then look to duel her from this position here. Widowmaker is a really important really important kill. And then you could even go behind, exactly. So you could definitely go around here. I think going for the double blink here and shooting and pressuring and then shooting from here is probably the best option, because then if things go south, you can always drop and grab the mini from here and play around from this position. And then once you're already in the backline, it just gets easier and easier and easier. This is not the highest priority for you. And that's why it's not the highest priority for you, because remember, Tracer should always be trying to shoot from the outside in. You have ended up indirectly by playing in the middle of the enemy team, because the Widowmaker has a good cover on you, which means one body shot, there's your recall. Go. I still hear damage. I think it's reasonable for you to go for the skill. I think you're waiting too long. I know you're like, oh, my Doom is dead, but I think I still hear combat. I still hear combat, or my Sojourn is dead. So then I think that this is worth going for. And then if you abandoning it, I understand it's like, oh, 5v5, 5v5. Yeah, but if the fight is still going, and it is still going, you need to be doing something. Ana can 2-tap you. Jeez, I still can't believe that's a thing. Alright, so we are setting up for Widow. She has now walked forward. This seems a little bit more reasonable, again, from the outside in, but I think as soon as you can get, I think you thought that was the Widowmaker. Yeah. And you're controlling the off angles now. Okay, so now you've cleared this person out. Surely we go for the Widow now. Play your life. Yeah, we just, so like here's a great example. Okay. Timing here is really hard. I will be honest with you. It's very hard to consider, like, is my hog engaged? I would say yes, kind of, sort of. I think what you're doing is okay. Let me look at this again. This here is hard. So here's what I would have done. Okay, so this is what I would have done. At this point in time, I think it would have been reasonable for you to turn around and see what's going on here, or listen. Because you would have seen and or heard that there's no combat going on, that your team has hit a lull. The problem is that very unluckily, that coincides with you going in. And the reason why I think that you could have dealt with this better is because you weren't actually under any pressure to actually go in. In other words, you weren't being shot at, I have to fight now. You could have waited, listened, and then actually engaged from here. And then obviously from here, you're still creating space, but this just becomes a mechanical error where you blink into the wall and then you just barely get hooked, where it's you're microseconds away from playing this one better. So I want to say a little bit of timing. You started on good timing, but you didn't check to see what the status of the battlefield was when you had downtime. And then you just were not able to actually play your life afterwards. Yeah. Remember, if you don't have eyes, if you sit yourself in the middle of the team fight, this kind of stuff just happens. This kind of stuff is just going to continue to happen. And like, obviously, like, this is kind of like a whatever fight, but yeah. You don't know where she is. You need to know where she is. She's your priority. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say. So we try and not be super micro focused when we're doing these type of reviews because there's a lot of gameplay to look at. So let's keep going. Oh man. It's fine. Good. No widow to worry about. Set up your angle. Like, right here is a great example of what we talked about though. The exact same problem with when you went for the widow earlier. What's the problem here, chat? Was the initial timing good? Yes. But if I turn around right now, what am I going to see? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Look at your Orisa. Look at your Kiriko. Look at your... Like, could you go in now? Yeah. But you're like, if you went in now, this would be a lot better, right? Because you're ready to go. It's about taking the downtime when you get it to reassess the situation, because the difference between you going in then and then going in when you do now is so important, right? So important. Now this is to be clear, this is not bad timing, right? I mean, there is something going on, but it's just, this hog isn't really a risk to anybody, right? Right. It's about knowing when you have downtime. Right now, there's no threat to you at all. You have all the downtime in the world, and then deciding about whether you should go or not through the information of your ears and through the information of seeing your team's outlines at the wall. Right. Because this is still okay. This isn't bad, but this would feel a lot better if it had been a little bit timed a little bit better. It feels like, I'm trying to think of the best way to say it is, it feels like you're playing main tank here, where you are like, you're always the one like kind of setting the tempo with your engages, and I get it's hard when you're playing a hog, but it feels like you're always the one leading the charge and expecting your team to follow, when your hero is better equipped to do that than other heroes, but you're not as good as a tank at doing that. So if you gave it like literally 1 second on a lot of these engages, literally 1 second, things would feel a lot better. Nice hoodie, thanks. Should downtime with Tracer be used for securing a position? Sure, or just simply assessing where your team is positioned. Like, this is another really great point here. Like, what have you really done here? Is this setting up? In which case, I would be setting up on backline on their Widow, not wrapping around and just making a circle. Don't do anything. Where's the Widow? Now, if she pushes you aggressively like this, yeah, it just feels like you're always just a little bit ahead, right? Like right now, she's gonna push you. So I know it's tempting to go for the assassination here, but again, consider your team's position here, right? There just isn't anything going on. It's too easy for them to push and clear you out. Whereas what I would have done is done this, blinked around this way, set up in their backline, hit. If they chase me, I can just keep running and live forever. And then actually go for the target that I want to, which is, again, the Widow. But then also, you have been better set up for the actual fight. There's just no way that, right, there should not be a way that this Ana dies. Now, if you play this mechanically really cleanly, does she die? Yes. But I don't care. Like, this is your skill versus her skill and the Kiriko. Yeah, you can get around that way. Watch. So here, let's actually look at the pathing that you take. Right here, you have one more blink. So you're going to blink through to here. You're going to wrap here. Wait, no, you can't get around this way. Crap. You're going to sit here then. Okay, fine. You're going to sit here and stabilize. If the Genji pushes you, you've got a Mega and he's completely out of his team's LOS. You're going to sit here. Then you're going to quintuple blink up and over. No. No, what you're going to do is you're going to stay here. 1, 2, 3. Triple blink up through here. And then get to their backline and then stage from their backline. Alternatively, let's see if we can find a different solution here. You're going to do exactly what you did here, but then take this position from in here to do the exact same thing, where you're going to stabilize in here for a brief moment, and then blink through this direction with double blink to here, right? At least that's what we're trying to do. Because you could have doubled back. You could have doubled back. Right? Could have doubled back. So you basically just do a big circle. And then you go left side, which isn't the best. You can go from spawn high ground to the other hide from the high and left. I think you could also do this too. You could completely avoid this entirely. Triple blink, right? Surely. But yeah, you can also do like here, blink, 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 stabilize, 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 wait for triple blink, walk here, and then just blink, 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 right to here. Yeah, just something to consider. I think you're trying to set up on left. Yeah, then Ana walked in you. But then as soon as Ana walks in on you, you're out, especially now that you're down your recall. But instead, do you see what you do? You re-peek. You're engaged. So, in theory, yes, that's what you were to do. But you were not scared enough of this engagement as you should have been. Even ignoring the 75 damage. I mean, it happens. Like, yeah, it's okay. We're low-hanging fruit here, right? Yeah. Again, I think, like, positioning here probably would prefer you to wrap around this way, right? And then just make your decision from there. Really need to get it on that Widow. There we go. 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 Yeah. You could set up their backline now. Yep. No, 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 no. Get out, 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 out. Stop getting caught here. You have all the time in the world here to stage. Stop getting stuck. You have triple blink now. Get out. Get to their backline. Be a nuisance to their Widow. Stop getting greedy here. Like you said, you're getting sucked into these fights. And either you're going to stagger, or you're going to lose staging for your next fight. You're not doing near enough. Like, look at your positioning, though. You know? Sucks. This Widow has been uncontested almost this entire game. Nice. Nice. I mean, why is she tunneled, right? Why is she tunneled? Huh. Because there's an engagement happening, right? All your big plays have been centered around stuff actually going on at the same time. Nice. Huh. Get rolled. Please don't get stuck here. Please don't get stuck here. I appreciate that this is a difficult position for you two, but like we need to get an off-angle setup here. It's also not helping you that your deaths are like you're like 7 or 8 deaths in, and so that you're consistently in a bad position because you're always starting from your own team's backline. Okay. Okay. Just run away. There's not enough of a backline for you to live through, so yeah, you're just gonna have to run away. It's good value. Very nice. Just failure with movement and failure with recall. Not a whole lot to say here. Uh-oh. Good touch. Kind of a goofy blink there. Oh, by the way, when we're talking about pulse bomb here, I've not seen any opportunities where pulse bomb would fundamentally change how you play. Their comp is like, if you see an opportunity, stick it, but Hog is obviously not a great stick. This is obviously a different situation where you feel like you need to touch cards, so I don't really have a whole lot to say here. We're actually just gonna go ahead and skip. I don't care how this fight goes. Okay. Let's keep looking. Let's keep going. Throat goat, what a name. Yeah, that was that's something else. Okay, Tracer. So we are seeing some issues with timing. We are seeing some issues with staging on this particular map and target priorities. A little bit of everything. But we'll clean it up towards the end. Alright. I wouldn't die for this. Even though that point is really recontestable, I wouldn't die for it. Set up, set up, set up, set up. Okay. Okay, reasonable. Now, where should you be, Bender? Chat, where should Bender be at this point in time? We started by clearing top right, but then they all pushed up into this, right? So where should Bender be? What do you guys think? Right, not where Hog is. I like that. I like that answer. Yeah. Maybe under. Pressuring the Ana. Maybe going blinking a top here. Maybe pressuring the Cassidy even. Yeah, this feels horrible. Get out of dodge. You are a flanker. Utilize the flanks. And remember, flanks are contextual. And this is so important as Tracer because you have the mobility to constantly be adjusting and moving as the team fight evolves, right? This up top right was probably fine to prevent that Cassidy from taking this flank because they were all stuck here. But then they all pushed up here, and then you kept hitting to face, like meet them in the face instead of going around and then attacking them. Like you attack where the belly is weak. Okay, you attack the weak underbelly of the enemy team, the extremities, and if the extremities shift positions and they fortify, like it's the Sun Tzu, attack where the enemy is weak. Do not play to their strengths. Do not walk into the Hog. Pack where they are weak. Harass Ana on cart. Harass the Cassidy on the off angle. This is maybe okay because the Hog is overextended, but right now, where's the weak underbelly of the enemy team? There it is. Now the Kiriko is isolated. She's weak. Force her out. She's gone. She's given up her position. You continue to pursue the Kiriko. No threat of Hog. Run, 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 run. Okay, nice. I mean, we look at things like, oh, my big plays. How do I improve my consistency? Well, you just need to learn how to play Tracer better. Like, you're landing big pulse bombs, and that's pretty much your quote-unquote big plays. But there have been many opportunities where you could have like, oh, wow. That was scary. Okay, then what do you do? Okay. Okay. That's a big play. Was it executed perfectly well? No. But this is a big play. You got here late, but this is a big play. Which to watch what happens. Ana panic, nade, hook, Ana and Hog chase, forget to pocket Genji, back up, give up space, Kiriko TP's out to heal Ana. That's a big play. And isolates the Cassidy, and Cassidy dies. Nice job. Very nice. That is Tracer fundamentals right there. Good job. Weird blink there. Get out. Out, 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 out. Stage. Yes. Yes. Well done. Go take high. Go take high ground. Get ready. Sit right here and wait. Walk forward. Walk forward. Walk forward. Walk, walk, walk. Don't blink. Walk. You should have 3 blinks here, not 1. It was almost better to have the Ana 1 HP than dead. Yeah, that's an interesting way of looking at it. What do you think about your timing here? I think it was okay. You had ample time to check where your team was positioned and what your team was doing. Hello, Euroclap. I think it was reasonable timing. Reasonable. I think I would have liked you to have 3 blinks here so that you did not have to burn recall so fast. Because you could have shot, and then blinked across here, and then shot, and then covered, and then shot here, and then blinked across, and then recalled, and so on. and thereby increasing your uptime on the backline. And then this is a great example of just not great tracer mechanics. Stop shooting Roadhog, please. Stop shooting Roadhog. Yeah, you got clutched on. Okay. Let's keep watching. We're gonna get through this entire VOD. Stop main tanking. Let's not even say main tanking. Stop tanking. Wait. 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 Now. Where are you? You know where your team is positioned. You can hear and see what your team is doing at any given point in time. And yet, you're completely MIA when the fight actually starts. Be patient. Be patient. 1 blink, 2 blink, giving away your positioning. Pressure, 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 pressure. Oh, we forced nade, guys. We forced nade. Oh no, our recall. But what does it matter? What does it matter? You risk your life there for what? Totally out of the fight. Oh no, oh no, no, no. Oh, and you got the mega before. Oh man. Okay. Hog clears you out. Opens up the other side of the map. Oh wait, he abandons it. Utilize it. Where's the weak underbelly of the enemy team? Why are you on the hog? Yeah. Surely, chat. Surely. Okay, get him. 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 Why are you in cart? Nice. Nice. Set it up. Stick the bastion. Stick it up. Stick it up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, they clear you out. That's okay. They had to do their homework. They had to path. But that's okay. You know what? Like, you talk about choking here. Like, that was a difficult stick. They turned around, they peeled you, they were looking right at you. You weren't able to get to the bastion. Not the end of the world. But we got Junkrat and Brigida's attention at a really crucial time. Now we go back. Now we've got Brigida attention. Now Brigida drops. Now you have an open path into the Junkrat. Now Hog is looking at you. Survive, survive. Recall, recall, recall. Still, this is, you know what's funny? Here's what's funny, chat. This was one of the better fights that we have played on this entire map. That was one of the better fights. So our timing was good. We responded to them pushing out the angle. Then we re-engaged the angle when they left it. We had a well-timed pull-some, didn't land, but then we were able to pressure people out of space and then utilize the space when they gave it up to go for the backline. You know, that we could talk a lot about micro here. So I think there's a couple of things here. So I think utilizing downtime to check your team's timing. Your timing, as always, shocker, is not great. Now, the reason why we talk about timing so much with Tracer is because the flanker aspect of the hero makes timing harder to get because you're oftentimes not in a position to always see, obviously, when and where your team is positioning. However, you can still see through walls. You still have functioning ears. There's no excuse, but it's more understandable when that's an issue, and it is continually an issue. Number 2, I would focus on making sure that we're avoiding the targets that are rough for you to pressure. Look for the squishy, look for the soft underbelly. I think is the creepy way of saying it. But I think it's something that consistently you were on the wrong targets. It felt like you ended up shooting hogs too much, not getting on the Widowmakers enough. And I think you need to be creative with how you were pathing. I think maybe the map was kind of throwing you for a loop, so I'll cut you some slack, but just something to consider. If you are really trying to play a lot more Tracer, and there are maps that feel really tough for you, it might be worth loading up a custom game and running around. And then number 3, which is the really, truly the lowest hanging of fruit, you just need to play the hero more. I think anybody watching this VOD probably got the vibe that, yeah, this is a Plat Tracer. Not just from, the timing, and not just from, the pull small mechanic. It just, you don't look super comfortable moving. There's a lot of wasted blinks. There's a lot of blinking into walls. There's a lot of struggling to manage your recall. There's a lot of goofy tracking. You just need to practice the hero more with the mindset of better timing, with the mindset of setting yourself up for better targets, and I think you'll play better. If it makes you feel any better, there's nothing special about your Tracer. There's nothing special about your Tracer, and that should make you feel better because that means that there's no really big, horrible, egregious error that you have to fix, otherwise you're going to be hard stuck Plat forever. You're just mediocre at kind of everything, target priority, timing, and your mechanics, including your blink usage. You just need more reps. So good luck. Let me know if you have any more questions, like more specific questions. Light up my DMs. You should know the replay code rule about if you have any, just shoot me the replay code with the timestamps if you have any other fights that you want me to look at. And yeah, do you have any other questions, Bender? You started as a Silver Tracer, so you'll take it. Well done. Yeah, this is definitely not Silver Tracer play. Definitely not. Well done. Surely. Huh. I mean, that's not originally where I got the Shirley thing, but it's a nice side bonus. Classic Leslie. I think you give me some good things to think about. You're very welcome, Bender. You're very welcome. Chat. What a boring stream. I guess we just end it there. There's nothing really to say. Have a good weekend. Surely nothing more interesting is going to happen today. I guess that's it. See you guys.